Most of the mistakes that I've made in my life, I've instinctively felt, what have I done? And some of them, I found out much later that I goofed up. In my years of running a video production company from scratch, I've come across various challenges like dealing with crew, clients, handling negotiations, and needless to say that some instances went completely down south that risked our reputation as well. Here are the top 5 mistakes I've made in a video production company that I wish I had not made. Mistake 1, being too eager. So in your starting years, you always want some work. And the moment some client shows interest, you want to go straight into the deliverables, timelines, straight to the execution. So there was this particular client that I remember my partner was sitting with, and I joined a little bit later in a restaurant. At that point, she was talking about some photography course that she was interested in. And then the topic shifted to how her pet handles the heat in the hot weather. And that's when I began to grow restless. So I popped the question, hey, so can we talk about the project that we're here for? And almost immediately, I sensed the complete vibe of the meeting change. It left this bad feeling in the stomach, and it made me realize maybe I should have waited a little bit more. Sometimes when you get too eager, you even miss the possibility of a connection. Because at this point, it wasn't about getting on the project. It was about even understanding if the client wants to work with you. It took me a while to understand that sometimes slowing down actually does build more trust. Mistake number 2, justifying the price in the wrong way. So this one cost me more than what I realized. We were on a contract of completing 20 videos for a client, and we were due to renew the contract. So we raised our pricing, and out of formality, the client asked us the reason. And my answer? We're upgrading our equipment. Upgrading our equipment. I mean, of all the possible reasons I could think of. To me, at that point, it may have sounded logical, but right now I can imagine how ridiculous it must have sounded to the client. I could have at least put it across in a better way, which was the truth, that we were having better systems and processes in place. We were putting more time and effort into the videos, which is what justified the costing. But no, we are upgrading our equipment. Mistake number 3, overprotecting yourself. Contracts are important. Protecting yourself is equally important. And I remember this client who wanted to launch his product with these new product videos, and he wanted to get the show on the road as soon as possible. But I handed him this hefty pile of documents which had clauses and conditions, and I still remember his expressions when he looked at me and said, "Are you kidding, right?" Even though it felt professional from our end, it did seem that we were making it difficult to work with us. He didn't have time to go through all those legal languages and jargons. In fact, he just wanted to work with us as quickly and efficiently as possible. Work it out with the client. Because you do not want to make it so difficult for them to work with you, especially large organizations. You'd rather refuse to work with them in the first place rather than being so difficult to work with them. Mistake 4, crossing hierarchies. Now this was a hard lesson. We went in through an agency. Things were going pretty well. It was a walk and talk interview with a politician and a CEO of a company. Now, right after the shoot got over, everyone was appreciative. The clients came to us and said how good a job we did. And that's when we felt that this is the good time to share our business card with the end client. So at that point, we thought offering our business card would seem pretty harmless, even proactive. But that one move ended up costing our relationship with the agency. Because this isn't about anything else but crossing hierarchy. And once the trust is broken, it's very hard to rebuild. And mistake 5, hiring without proper vetting. One of the biggest mistakes that we made is we're trying to grow too soon. At one point in our early years, when we were getting a lot of projects, we thought that was a good sign, right? But the problem was we did not know how to say no to anyone. And then I remember a repeat client approached us for a project to work on, and we decided to hire a director from the outside with his own team to just get the footage for us. Everything made sense on paper. I mean, we briefed him properly, we explained the expectations until that day when he showed up with the footage. So I sat with the director going folder by folder, and every time I looked at a new clip, my expressions kept dropping. And I remember looking back at my partner, thinking that we have lost the client. And that's when it hit me hard that we're not delegating our creative work, we're delegating our creative identity to someone. Without proper vetting or without even collaborating with him before, we ended up taking the risk and lost the client because of this. That was a difficult lesson because scaling does feel like growth. But when it involves the wrong people, it in fact does more damage than building your reputation. But this isn't about filmmaking. This is about maintaining relationships, about maintaining your boundaries, knowing exactly what's in your domain, and working with that. These mistakes may come and which are unavoidable sometimes, but at least you're aware of them and not to repeat them. I do hope this helps you. This is Nikhil when out of frame.